Got it. Okay, yeah, we are live from Southern Ohio. I don't know if anybody's gonna watch this, but my wife and I are here in a cabin, and she needs to come here and sit down.
Hold on a minute.
Just
If it
come,
works.
just come over and sit down. We wanted to share a couple of. We had a couple people ask us how we met and some things like that, and so we talked about this, and we were going to talk about that, and then when the camera came on, my wife ran. So I'm hoping she comes back because this is embarrassing without her here. So come back, sit down. Okay, so we are here. So okay, now we're back. So welcome to Berner Brothers Live. We are from we are actually in Southern Ohio. We needed to take a break. We had to get away, right? You said,
Yeah.
Jacob, let's get away. Since we bought the antique center and all the auctions every week, life's just been crazy. We're working on developing all kinds of stuff, and we decided to get away in the cabin. So we have no television. The only thing we have is Wi-Fi. And I said, hey, babe, people are asking like how we met, and they want to know you. And you're such a beautiful woman. You got so many things to offer. You're intelligent. She runs our auction business. And so I said, let's do a live from Southern Ohio. We're out in the middle of the wilderness, so like we're in the middle of nowhere. We're here. What is this place called?
Hocking Hills.
We're in but what is this place? We're in Hocking Hills, in Southern Ohio.
The Inn and Spa.
The Inn and Spa at Cedar Falls in Hocking Hills, and we are. What is this thing called we're living in today?
A geodome.
A geodome. We are in a geodome. Right now, and so that window port behind you, like we have a couple of those, and then we have a massive curtain that opens up the whole geodome, and there's just wilderness outside. What was interesting is a squirrel was watching us earlier. We were looking outside, and the squirrel was kind of sitting in front of us, right outside our window, just looking back at us. So, anyway, so Silke, one of the things that we need to talk about is how we met. And so, do you remember? I mean, this is an interesting story. People are asking, how did you guys meet? You're German, first off. My wife is German. We met in Germany when I was 17 years old, and I remember. Well, you go first. What do you want to share on about when we met?
We met well.
Yeah, like what happened? Like people are saying, hey, what is this? How did you meet someone in Germany? And from your perspective, I mean,
Okay,
you know.
I was really good friends with my neighbors or really a girl that was my neighbor, and her older brother came to Ohio as
Yes,
an
exchange student. So your neighbor's older brother was an exchange student in my high school in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
So I graduated in 1993, and he was an exchange student, and that's when I went to meet her in Germany, and to go with the exchange student.
You went and
visited my friend Gertz, Gertz Bergman. Gertz, if you're out there, hello. Anyways, he was in Stuttgart, near Stuttgart, Germany, in a town called Gultstein, near Herrenberg. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Well, and then I met you.
I met you, but the first time we met, though, it was okay. Let me give some backstory. So I'm in high school, and we got an exchange student. His name is Gertz, and I'm 17. Anyways, we were in a class together. I think it was like a science class or Earth class. That class you got to take your senior year that you really don't want to.
On here.
I think there's comments. I seen them. There were some popping up over here. I don't know how to bring them up full. Maybe this thing does it. I don't know.
I think you don't have it.
Top chat. I don't know. How do we see that? All messages are visible.
Okay, just making sure. There's no place on here.
There they are. Okay, they're all there now. Now we can see them.
Enough.
Okay, so we're new. This is only our second time ever doing live. So again, apologize about the newness of this. They disappeared again. I think it's the computer settings probably somehow. Josh says not seeing anything yet. Very spotty. Keeps cutting out. Well, we are in Southern Ohio, and he's saying it's too spotty.
We'll make this quick then, huh?
We'll make it quick.
I'm lucky.
She's lucky. If this is spotty, then we don't want to continue. Maybe we should wait and do this a different night because we are in Southern Ohio. Let's look. Hello from Fort Worth, Texas. Somebody's saying hello. I'm not sure. Maybe it's too spotty. Let's keep it short in case it's really bad spotty. I don't want people to think
like
craziness.
To me.
And she wants to get off here anyways. Okay, so anyways, if you can hear this, I met her in Germany when I was 17, and then we started writing letters back and forth for several months. I went back to Germany, and then we started dating when we were 18.
Yeah.
18 years old.
To come and visit you.
I talked her into coming. back to Ohio with us to live here. I've got to see if this is spotty. This is bothering me. What are they saying?
From the deep
Fine.
south.
If you
Not
can hear this,
spotty
then give
here.
me a thumbs up that it's not spotty. So
All
I'll
clear
keep talking.
here. Looks good on my end. In
Looks
Orlando.
good. All clear from Orlando. Okay. So those of you guys that are watching, that are out there, we thank you for watching. First off.
Fine.
So I'm gonna just keep sharing it because this will record and it'll be on there later. I think that's how that works.
I think so.
Let's just do this. Let's not worry about it. We got lots of thumbs ups going on. You're coming across perfect. Okay. Well, in that case, we will continue. So, anyways, I was 17 when I met you. I went to visit my friend, and what's really cool is that his sister, my friend's sister, and Silke were best friends at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying it must be your problem, Josh. I love that. That's cool. Okay, so we're in a cabin in southern Ohio in the hills. So I don't even have cell phone service here. Like I can't get a call, but I can get Wi-Fi stuff. So if I keep my hand on this button, then I can see their comments. If I let go, it goes to sleep. So I'm gonna keep my hand here.
I like seeing the comments.
Okay. So we were in. They went away again. Here they come. We were in Germany, and I turned 18 my first trip.
Yeah, it's your birthday.
It was my birthday. And I will never. I think that she like swooned me away the moment she gave me a bottle of champagne. Do you remember? You remember, right?
Yep.
I turned 18, and for my birthday, we were at my friend's house, and she came over, and we were hanging out. And for my birthday, she gave me a bottle of champagne. And being here from the States, not drinking any alcohol at all, and then you gave me a bottle of champagne, and I was like shocked and blown away. And
thought it was a big deal.
You didn't think it was a big deal, but for me, I'm like, man, what the heck? This is pretty cool. My wife just gave me.
I didn't know you weren't allowed to drink.
I know you didn't know I wasn't allowed to drink, but I wasn't, and that was like my first experience getting a bottle of champagne handed to me at a birthday. Anyways, like we just started like hanging out, and we spent a lot of time together. We didn't talk a whole lot. You're pretty shy.
Yep. See, still don't like.
You still don't like the camera. Still don't like to talk. So we went to some clubs. We kind of hung out. We went swimming. So the first time I actually met her, I knocked on her door, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knocked on her door to go swimming at her mom and dad's house, and they were neighbors, and she says she didn't have a friend there, but I don't know. There was another guy there that first time, and he never came back. That was the last time I seen him. It was just a tennis friend, right? He played tennis with you. He was there swimming as well, and so we went swimming at her parents' house. It was really cool, and that's where we first met, and that was in Germany in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started writing the letters. We didn't have email, and so we actually had to start writing letters, right?
Yes, we did.
We did. Well, you want to share some of that? How that happened?
I don't know. I mean, we wrote just a few letters at first because I didn't really think.
That first trip I was there 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
3 weeks, and we didn't know if we would ever see each other.
Right,
we didn't have email.
Right.
And phone calls were like $2 a minute to talk on the phone. Very expensive. We couldn't call.
Yeah.
And so we started writing.
Yes, I didn't really think that we would ever see each other again, but we wrote, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 letters over the next long time. Not too many.
So my writing skills is what did it? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
I'm a horrible writer, so must not have been that. Okay, so go on. So from your perspective, then
yeah, we just wrote a couple letters, and then eventually, you made plans to come back that following, like March or so, around Easter time, and we went skiing.
And we went skiing, and so what happened was my friend McGurch invited me to come back and go skiing, and I was kind of like, when I would talk to him on the phone, very seldom, but I was like, I really like Silke, and I'd like to come back, and and then I started, once I found out that I could come back, it's when I really kind of started writing a little bit more. Writing more, say, hey, I'm coming back, and then I really thought you were interesting, and I don't know what we still have those letters. They're hidden away in a box somewhere. She doesn't want to share that part. Anyways, so that's how we first met. Let's go back to where we can read these.
Messages are gone again.
All messages are gone. Now they're visible again. So they see how they get Lucas. Who is that from? Lark Davis. I agree that Lucas gets all of his personality and looks from my wife. She is the one with the looks. And anyway, so let's fast forward a little bit. So we started dating. We went skiing in Austria. So Silke grew up on skis. She has been a skier her entire life. She's an amazing skier.
I love to ski.
She loves to ski. And you make me look really bad.
Well,
because you're so good.
Not that good, but
well, you're fun. Really no. She's really good. It reminds you if you ever seen a bunny rabbit hopping, and like I always like said, she looks like a ski bunny. Like you just, it's like perfect, just right down the hill. She does amazing. She taught all of our kids how to ski, and so her parents had a place in the Alps, and we went skiing there where your parents' place was when I was 18, right? Was I 18?
Yeah, you were 18.
And that's when we first started dating.
You gave me a black eye.
I gave you a black. You wrecked me. It wasn't my fault. You were like skiing behind me, and I tripped.
Something.
Okay. I gave her a black eye. I did. It was an accident. She got behind me, and my skis went up. I landed on my back, and one of my skis hit her in the hip, right here. And anyways, that's how she got the black eye. It wasn't like you did something like that. She would kill me if I did something like that. But it was an accident, but it was because I was such a bad skier. Now think about this: we're in southern Ohio right now in the hills, and in Ohio, like southern Ohio, we think these are mountains here. And then I went and you asked me, hey, have you ever skied? And I'm like, yeah, I've skied in Ohio. And our ski slope takes like 20 seconds to get down, and you say, well, okay, then let's go, and we're going to do this. And so we start skiing, and between if imagine this in the Alps, you go up this lift from the very bottom of the mountain, and it takes about 10 minutes on the first lift, and then you have to get off and you have to ski to another lift and go up another 10 minutes to the top of the mountain. Between those two lifts, there's this area that was like 10 times bigger than Southern Ohio hills, or Bell Fountain, where I learned to ski. So my skiing experience was only that little bit right there. And you asked me if I'd skied before. I was like, oh yeah, I ski all the time. I mean, and I ski in these little hills. And so then we go to the Alps where there's it might snow 2 feet one night or whatever. I mean, we've been there before. Right, where it's 3 feet, 4 feet in just a couple days. It's massive amounts of snow, and I'm skiing, on very minimal stuff. It's anyways. Let me see what that says. The lifts scared me. They scared me. I was so scared, and I wrecked like constantly. I had like 50 wrecks my first. No, you have to click that part, that thing. Yeah, click that and go to the live chat, and you can see it. All right, now we can see. They keep my computer for some reason shuts down the chats with the comments, and so we have to keep turning it back on. Anyways, that's how she got the black eye. I was such a horrible skier. I wrecked constantly, and
you got much better.
I got better throughout the week, but a couple years later, I wrecked over there, and a year later, when I had to go to the hospital.
Oh, yeah, that happened. That was. That was a
she wanted to go in the deep snow, and she's really good. And what happened was we were in the deep snow, and she would just go right through it. And I tried to do what she did, and I wrecked, and my ski came off, and my knee went across my ski and cut my leg. And I thought I was going to bleed to death, and we had to get gurneyed out. They had to bring the medics, and they wanted to helicopter me out of there.
Went down in a little sled.
They wanted to bring a helicopter in, but the helicopters were all in use, and I'm on the side of the mountain bleeding out my leg. She's sitting there with me and just taking care of me, like puts a tourniquet on my leg. And they ended up bringing 2 medics with a sled, and they, like the guys on each side, and then they had to like ski me down the mountain, and then get into an ambulance, and then go by ambulance to the operating room, and they put me back together. That's because she's so good, and I was just trying to be like her. And then I'm not, and like you are. So, okay, short story. That's a long story that was supposed to be short, on how we met and some skiing. So, what happened from that point on? We started writing letters, lots of letters back and forth. My wife is saying stop talking. She's pinching my leg right now, saying quit. She's so cute.
Stitches, yeah, there were stitches involved.
There were lots of stitches. I had a 4-hour surgery or something.
It was not that long, but it was.
Well, they kept me overnight. It was several hours. Lots of stitches. They put a tube in the back of my leg. And the next day, they wanted to release me, and I was like, well, do I get crutches? And the doctor said, if you get crutches, then we're not releasing you. So I remember that, and so I ended up walking out of there with no crutches. And
How many children? We've got 3.
we've got 3 children.
Lucas is the youngest.
Lucas is our youngest of 3. Our oldest son is in med school. His name is Noah, and he is actually the one that's going to have a baby soon. He's married. Got married last year. Our son and daughter both got married within a month of each other.
6 weeks of each other.
6 weeks, 2 months, 6 weeks last year, and we had both of their weddings. Noah is going to be a doctor, and Kaylin is going to be a nurse. They are both married. Their spouses are amazing people.
Someone's Karen is.
What is it?
Surprised I stuck around.
I'm surprised she stuck around. I mean, I'm telling you, this is the brains of the operation. I get to go out and buy the stuff, but she makes the magic happen. Like she does our cataloging. How long have we been married? How many years? 27?
26.
26. So people were asking, how do you meet? So I'm gonna give you one little bit more of how when we first started dating, and you know, I got the nerves to go back, and we started writing back and forth, and I invited her to come to Ohio, and you came over here, and you stayed for a month, and then went back to Germany, and then it was close to Christmas, and I was so excited because I found an engagement ring, and I was going to ask her to marry me, and my heart was like. I remember that night. It was all I could think. The whole trip when I flew that time, when I was going to ask you to marry me, I couldn't hardly, like, I was sweating. Even on the airplane ride over, I was nervous. I was so wound up, and I got over there, and I remember I wanted to get you alone, so I said, hey, let's go get pizza, and then we go to a little pizza restaurant, and we eat, and the whole time we're eating, all I can do is think, how am I going to ask her? How am I going to ask her? And what's she going to say? And like, I was so nervous, I was sweating, and then I couldn't ask her at dinner, so I thought, well, let's take a walk. In the town where we had dinner in Herrenberg, we had pizza, and then we walked up, and then the old town where she grew up, there was a castle at the top of it that
Used to be.
right, it was torn down, but there were still remnants of this castle. And so it was like late at night, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. We walk up to this old abandoned remnants of the castle,
Like a tower.
overlooking the whole town, and we're finally alone. And I'm getting ready to ask her, and then some kid walks in, and I'm like, oh. And I had to wait. Somebody else walked up to the spot we were at, and I had to wait for them to leave. And then I finally got up enough nerve, and I got down on a knee, and I was like, will you marry me? And she said some stuff in German, and I didn't really know what it was. And I was like, I think that's a yes, but I'm not sure. And
It was a yes.
It was a yes. So she did say yes. And that was the easy part. The hard part was when we went to tell your parents. That was hard, but because I didn't ask her dad up front because he doesn't speak English, and I didn't speak German, and we didn't have the communication for me to say, hey, can I marry your daughter? I wanted to do it, and I couldn't. And so what happened was, we left there, and we go back to her mom and dad's house, and we're going to tell her parents that we just got engaged. I think that was probably the most nervous thing I've ever done in my life, was to tell your mom and dad that we got engaged. So first we show her mom. We're like, she's like, let me get your ring on you tonight. No. She's like, look, Mom, Jacob got me this, and your mom was like, oh, that's really cool because you wear the rings on the opposite sides. And so in America, when you're engaged, you wear it on your left hand, but in Germany, you wear it on your...
You do actually wear it on your left hand. But
your right hand. No, it was the opposite.
You wear it on your right hand when you're married, usually in Germany.
So left is engaged, right is... but your mom didn't think it was a wedding.
Well, yeah, because people don't give like a diamond.
They don't,
like
in
it's
Germany, they don't
like
give diamonds.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I gave her a little diamond engagement ring, and kind of all the money I had saved up at the time. But when I gave it to her, it was so profound because her mom was like, oh, that's really cool. He got you a cool ring. And then she was like, no, that means we're engaged. He asked me to marry him. And then her mom was like, oh. And just like the expression, and I thought, oh golly, and now I'm really sweating, and her dad doesn't know yet. And then your mom runs and gets your dad, and he comes in, and I'm thinking, oh my golly, he's gonna throw me out of the house. I just got here from Ohio. I'm in Germany. I have nowhere else to go, and he's gonna throw me out of here. And then instead, he opens a bottle of champagne and celebrated.
Champagne again.
Back to champagne, and we were only 8. How old were we? 19.
We were a little older then.
Well, we got married at 21,
19, probably.
so
I guess
probably
we were
19.
Yeah.
We were 19, and you know, here I come to Germany and ask her dad to marry her and take her back away, and in the midst of that, I mean, I got a daughter now, and I'm thinking if a boy did that, I'd be like, get out of here. That's my daughter. You're not taking her to some other country, a continent or whatever. And your dad was so awesome. He was the opposite. He just, your mom and dad both, they just opened up a bottle of champagne and celebrated, and
Pretty cool.
it was so cool. And I am forever indebted to your parents for just embracing me when they did, because I hear I was a young punk from Ohio, that hillbilly down here in the middle of Ohio. I'm starting to tear up, babe. I can't do that. All right. Her mom and dad treated me awesome, and over time, as you have kids, and I raised our kids, I realized, actually, I realized how much love they had for you and for me, and how hard that must have been to let their little girl come to Ohio. Yeah. And I know. I'm glad my daughter married somebody from Ohio, and she's living a mile from us. So.
Too.
Anyways, our story. So I was always in the antiques industry. I was buying and selling antiques already when I met you, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you came back here, we got married. I asked you to marry me, and you came back, and we actually moved in you moved in with me at my parents' house. Like, we were still living there, and then we got married in '97. And I asked you to marry me. Was it '95 or '6? 95. So we got engaged in 95, and then in 97 we got married. So in that time where we were going to get married, we actually bought a home, got married, and we started our new auction business together at the Heart of Ohio Antique Center. And we actually opened up our auction gallery before the Heart of Ohio Antique Center was in existence. We knew it was going to be the Heart of Ohio, but at the time it was a flea market that was kind of going under and getting restructured into an antique center. And Bruce and Vivlin, we had became friends with them, and they said, "Hey, Jacob, we want you and Silke to come out here, and would you guys be interested?" And at the same time, we wanted to do our own thing, and kind of put our mark in the antiques world, and that's when we started going to the Heart of Ohio. Okay, let's read some of these comments. They keep going away, and we're trying. My computer, again, I'm new at all of this live stuff. So, 2 weddings in 6 weeks. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yes, we needed that, because when our kids got married, we had them 3 years apart, and they got married 6 weeks apart. That wasn't fair on their part, and it was a lot of stress. And so this is interesting. I'm gonna give you a quick background on how that happened. So our son Noah, I got engaged first. Is that right? Noah was first?
Yeah, and then
Noah got engaged first, and then in the midst of that,
they were going to get married 6 months apart.
They were going right. So Noah got engaged, and then Kaylin got engaged really soon after, and they were going to get married 6 months apart. And then Kaylin's husband is in the National Guard, and his deployment got moved forward, and so the only time that they could get married before he would be deployed was within 6 weeks. So Kaylin actually was going to get married after her older brother, and instead she got married first. So that's how that happened. So that was a question someone asked.
Did I know any?
What is the question?
If I knew you were scared.
When I asked you to marry me?
I knew you were scared once we went back to my mom and dad.
Oh, I was shaking. I was in the kitchen, and then I was I was so shaking. Oh, tell him.
But he was sweating a lot more when we actually got married at the wedding. I was literally dripping sweat.
I married her. How many times have I married you? 3?
Once.
Well, how many wedding ceremonies have we had? 3? We had one at the courthouse in Germany.
Yeah, and then one at the church.
One at the church in Germany.
Over there. And then none of your family was able to go over there, so we had.
So we did another wedding here for my family. Right. So we've been married 3 times. One time with 3 celebrations, but with the first wedding we had at the courthouse, when it was the official documents, and the magistrate of the court had to give his signature on our papers. When we went there for that, I was hot because I wore a suit with the undershirt, and we were in this room, and they don't have air conditioning, and I was sweating profusely, and it was dripping. And the guy says, "Are you sure you want to marry her?" Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And you looked over at me and you're like, are you okay? And then your mom was like, Jacob, are you sure? Like, I was like, yeah, I'm just hot. I'm just really hot. Anyways,
it was in July, and there's no air conditioning in German.
There is no air
building,
conditioning,
so
and I was very
we're
nervous,
not
and it
used
was
to that.
hot, and it was all of that stuff together. So, okay, let's see what other comments we got here. And then there's the go back to the live chat so I can see them.
We did not.
This is only my
saw
second time
log.
live, guys. So
We didn't do the log sawing thing,
the
no.
log sawing. No, did we do some broken dishes though, right?
Yeah.
It was.
Something
There was
like that.
something like we broke some dishes.
And
Was it the
then
morning we got married?
They had us climb
Or
over
the
the
night?
tennis net. They did make us do that.
We had to climb after our wedding. So we got married in a church. How old is that church? It was built in like 1400
I don't really know.
originally,
It's pretty
and then
old.
rebuilt. It's a
Yeah.
really early church. And then on the way out from the ceremony, we had to go over a tennis net because she was a tennis star, and all of her tennis team. They actually raised their rackets and made like a, you see these swords for royal weddings, and they hold their swords and they walk under them, like they did that with tennis rackets. And then we had to step over a tennis racket because she was like I said, she was really good at tennis.
Well, no.
You
not
were.
Really.
You don't. She's being humble. She was really
It's
good.
not really that good.
And she kicked my butt every time we played. Okay. What else here? Any other comments? So there was a lot of other comments and questions, and I'm trying to just reach back through here. If you guys have watched any of our live stuff and you have questions about something, then I'm going to try and answer those about the antiques world, our auction business, our buying and selling, and all of that kind of thing. So if there's any questions on there, then I want to make sure I answer that. But one of the questions that I wanted to make sure she got here for was, how did you guys meet? And your wife needs to be on this because she is an awesome woman. I've had that comment, and
I like to be behind the scenes.
She hates being in the camera, and she's like wanting to stop as soon as we can. So, right? Am I right? You're wanting to stop.
I'm fine.
She's
with
very upset at me right now for doing this. But so Silke, with our business, I just want you guys to understand. I buy the antiques, and we made this agreement when we were very young that she would take care of all of our accounting and our cataloging and all of this technical stuff. And my job is easy. I get to go buy stuff. And so I buy antiques all the time, and then I give them to her, and she makes sure they get photographed, they get cataloged, and the shipping happens.
Your mom
and so
does the photos.
I understand that
Yeah.
mom doesn't,
Yeah.
but like you oversee like that whole part of our business where the from the time I drop an item off into our auction gallery until the time it leaves, the only thing I do outside of dropping it off is showing up the day of the auction and running the auction itself. And so all of the
trained us
the
all
other
that well.
stuff, I mean all of the
Not
other
having
stuff
to do
you
it.
guys do, and Silke like manages all that. So that's 1,000 items a week that she actually oversees.
I've got really good help.
We do have a great staff.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great staff.
Yes, we do.
I want to make sure there was a question about Black Friday with Kate, and this is going to be interesting because I'm learning about Whatnot, and Kate is coming over on Black Friday to do a marathon Whatnot. I've applied to sell at Whatnot, but I haven't been approved yet, so I'm waiting on that. And after they approve me, then I don't know, maybe
Kate's definitely approved. So you'll
Kate's
definitely
approved.
be on
Yeah,
there.
the
I mean,
sale
Kate's
will
been
happen. I'm
selling.
going to
She
be
knows
with
what
Kate,
she's
and she
doing.
knows what she's doing, and she's going to train me on this whole process, and we're going to have a lot of fun stuff to sell. And I think it's at 10 a.m. we're starting on Black Friday, and so that will definitely happen for sure.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I'm going to try and get approved, and then maybe on Black Friday I can try and have Kate show me how to operate the Whatnot and sell
your
like
first
4 or 5
item
items
on
or
your
something,
own channel,
just
or
so I
if
can
not,
get
it'll
something
happen
sold.
sooner or later.
And then after we do that, then our plan is going to be to bring Whatnot to a regular platform at the Heart of Ohio Antique Center, where we do regular sales from there, with stuff like I'm going to try and bring something that's not being done with some different approach to it. So that's going to come a step at a time. Our first step is to have Kate get over here, have the auction, and train me, and that's going to be on Black Friday, where I can see that. So we're excited about Kate coming over.
Yes, we do have good teachers with Kate and Jocelyn.
Kate and Jocelyn are the best, and I give complete thanks and kudos to Jocelyn for saying, hey, get on YouTube, and then introducing me to the Whatnot and YouTube and everything. Like, she is amazing.
Someone here watched our jewelry sale.
Someone watched the jewelry sale. Well, that's
with
cool.
Kate.
It was
fun.
crazy fun, and that was my first time ever seeing Whatnot. Was that sale when we did that jewelry right there at one of our buildings.
Up to shipping.
Shipping. We have this question a lot about our shipping from the auction business. So let me explain how this works. What is it?
Are you going to be up to the shipping?
Yes, we will be up for the shipping. Whatever that takes, we'll make happen.
You'll figure out a way.
We'll figure it out. Like I've had so many crazy things in my life that I've done and just figured it out. We kind of jump. What is it? Ready, fire, aim. But most we do fire, ready, aim.
Are you going to sell kitschy stuff? We don't know.
I don't.
Okay. Jewelry,
I don't understand kitschy. Like this is a new term in my understanding. If you guys say what kitschy means, I would love to understand from your perspective. What is kitschy? I should know this, but I don't. Well, do you know what kitschy is?
It's like knickknacks.
Knickknacks.
Kind of like
I don't know. Is I mean, I'm watching I'm starting to watch a lot of Whatnot
like
people sell.
Odds and ends.
Odds and ends, kind of like the knickknacks.
That's what I think it is.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe they'll explain it to us, like kitschy. And I hear that from Kate a lot. Is kitschy, that term? She used it a lot when she was around, and I see it a lot on Whatnot. But what I know that I want to sell is all of this new glow stuff that I mean, that just is a new world. Jewelry that glows for me, I know, is a new world. You know, Kate is kitschy. That's cool. Who said that? Oh, that comment. Leslie. Kate, I agree. Kate is kitschy. If that's what kitschy is, then I understand it. Something exciting and different and full of love and fun and just something very, very different.
Head faces, animals, cutesy stuff.
What does it say?
Like head vases.
Head vases, animal and cutesy stuff. Okay.
That is definitely kitschy.
That's definitely kitschy. Okay. I'm learning. You know, I didn't even know what a swung vase was until I seen Jocelyn.
We started seeing them at the
Heart of Ohio, because in the antiques world, like I was kind of, we got into a bubble of selling the old school stuff, and that's just kind of what we went with for a long time. Mm-hmm. And then after we bought the Heart of Ohio, we're watching all this stuff sell, and there's new markets that I'm watching sell. We did an interview. If you haven't seen our interview with Kyle on our Heart of Ohio channel, you have to watch it. He's 16. He just turned 17. And he actually is selling hats and vintage hats and
lots of kitschy stuff.
Lots of kitschy at the heart. Okay, I love that. Janet says that. Okay, so kitschy. So Kyle, we interviewed Kyle and we uploaded that today. It just went on like an hour ago, and my mom sells kitschy. Okay, that helps. I get it. I'm starting to get like the definition that's coming in. But Kyle, this is interesting. Kyle is 17 years old and he sells vintage hats. When he says vintage hats, I'm thinking, you know, something like this out of the 20s, but he's thinking truck driver hats out of the 80s. And so
with the rope.
With rope going across and, you know, like all these kind of truck driving hats and t-shirts and stuff, all from the 80s. And he loves cassette tapes and 8-track tapes and things like this, and he loves vintage shirts and tops to cereal boxes. So watch this interview with Kyle, and he's going to give you like a glimpse into the next generation of collecting, because he's 16 going on 7. He just turned 17. He was 16. He just turned his birthday a month ago. Mm-hmm. And he is actively buying and selling, and he's our youngest dealer. He started in a showcase, went to a booth, and now he has a full booth at the Heart of Ohio and a showcase. And he's just doing really good. Yeah, and he's doing really good. He's selling lots of stuff. He's just going to... It reminds me of, you know, it's so hard when you're young in this business to kind of figure out how to buy and sell. But it reminds me of how I did it. Just to go, just to do it, and don't worry about it.
And it was actually really cool.
Yeah, we just watched that interview, and I said, well, let's get on.
He was a bit nervous at first.
He was nervous.
Just like me.
He was very, and I catch myself talking fast often. I have to really work on slowing down.
I feel for him.
You feel for him?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, a lot of the 70s and 80s is kitschy. 17 years is a mini Jacob. I agree. He's just like me, you know. It's going to be great. I want to encourage you, go to the @Heart of Ohio Antiques and watch this interview. And then if you go to the Antique Center, if there's something in Kyle's booth that you can buy off of him and support him, just go there and buy it. You know, he's incredible. And to watch young people enter this industry and be excited about it, it's just like it's the life. It's going forward. It's how we're going to grow this industry in the future. So
someone wants to know who does all the editing.
On the YouTube videos. So this is interesting. Lucas and I tag team the YouTube channels, and then Silke does some additional uploading. We started uploading on Facebook now. So from after it's presented on YouTube,
That's basically all you.
a week later, you upload it to Facebook.
Yeah, I just copy.
Okay, she copies and pastes. So then the editing itself, as far as the channel, what you're seeing on the Berner Brothers stuff, I'm the one that sits there and does all of the placing of the material, and then I give it to Lucas.
Kevin wants to know when you're going to arm wrestle Herb.
On his birthday. He won't tell me when his birthday.
We'll have to figure out when.
He hasn't told me
is.
yet. We're going to do it on his birthday.
He wants to surprise you.
He does. he keeps telling me that he's going to beat me. I'm kind of afraid to arm wrestle him, but
I'm a little afraid
he wants
for
to do
you
the
arm
opposite.
wrestle him.
So Herb, if you don't know who Herb is 92 years old, and he is our oldest dealer at the antique center. And he loves to shake hands, but he was a bodybuilder his whole life. And he loves to shake hands and see if he can get you to like squeal or give in or say uncle or whatever he does. And he wants to do that with me, and I've been like denying him for the past, since we bought the antique center. I'm like, no, Herb, not me. And then I finally agreed to do it on his birthday when he turns 93. But he won't tell me what day it is. He said he's going to give me like a few day notice. I think it's sometime either in December or January, and he's going to give us a 3-day notice. But we are going to do a live, whenever it is. I'm going to put it out there. We're going to do a live, and we're just going to have fun with it. And I mean, Herb's, he's amazing. Editing, back to the editing stuff. It's so how this works on the editing is I'm the one filming all the time, and then I get home and I jump on the computer and I put all the little stuff together in the order I think it should be, and then Lucas will take it from that and he will put the thumbnails with it, and then do the actual posting online. Yeah. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
What was the other question?
How many siblings do you have, and how many years apart are you and Josh?
Okay, so there's 4 boys, and so I've got 3 brothers. So my mom and dad had 4 boys, and we were, you imagine mom raising 4 ornery boys. That's kind of what we were, and she would put us, straighten us out when she needed to, and take care of that. But my oldest brother is Jimmy.
Met him.
Jimmy, did he turn 50? He is, right?
Mm-hmm.
He just turned 50. My next oldest brother, now Jimmy is the one that we show on here often because he just retired last year from being a deputy sheriff. He worked in the courthouse for 30 years or 25 years. He just retired, and he's starting to buy and sell, and he's working with us in the industry now, and just helping us out wherever he can. And so that's my oldest brother. My next brother down is Jason. Jason is still working in the county engineers department. He actually he is what is it called, the actual proper name? He leads the bridge crews.
Yeah.
He's like a foreman, and he leads the bridge crews and does lots of stuff. He owns his own tree company. Pretty amazing guy. And what I would say about both of these older brothers of mine that you really don't know is they got hearts of gold. They would do anything for us. They help us out any way possible ever. I could call them right now, and I'm saying, hey, I'm in Southern Ohio, come get me, and they'll be here in as soon as they could, as fast as they could. We just have that bond between us that we're just always there for each other. Mm-hmm. So they're amazing men, and I think Jason's probably got the biggest heart of a guy that I've seen. Just like he would just helps people all the time. I look up to both of these guys, and then I'm third in line. And then after me is Josh, and Josh and I are 3 years apart? I think Josh, we're 3 years apart. If you're watching this, 3 years. I'm pretty sure it's 3 years. So we're all almost between 2 and 3 years. Jimmy and Jason are closer together in age, and then Jason and I are 2 years apart, and Josh and I are 3 years apart.
Sounds about right.
It sounds about right. All right, let's see what other questions we got here. What does this one say? You guys.
The game at the heart.
Oh, someone asked about Mojo's. I wanted to answer this on the live. Mojo's Cafe. They said, where did that name come from?
Oh, yeah.
This is a fascinating story. So we were out at the Antique Center, and we have a lady named Kim that worked for us for a long time. And Kim's husband is a cabinet maker, and her husband, his name is Joe. Joe actually is the one that built our kitchen at our house. Mm-hmm. Great man, and he's not with us anymore. He got in an accident. But anyways, Mo is still works for us. Mo
He's
is
still at the
Mo is
heart.
still our general like not manager, but our groundskeeper, like our maintenance guy. He's like the if you have this like this
Always
tool that can do
yeah.
anything, that's Mo. Mo can help do anything we need done at the antique center. He knows like everything. He's the maintenance to A to B to C. He'll help wrap stuff behind the counters. If we have an issue with the drainage somewhere, he knows how to fix it. Air conditioning or heating issue, he knows where it's at,
Mo
what to
can
do.
it all.
He knows everything and he knows everybody. He's just a genuine, good-hearted man. He's been at the antique center for 20 plus years,
Yeah.
and his name is Mo. So Joe, which was the cabinet maker, and Mo, which worked for the Heart, remodeled Ramona's Cafe. And in the remodeling from the old cafe, when the antique center first opened up, they called it Ramona's Cafe. And Ramona had actually led the kitchen. She was the one that was overseeing the kitchen, so they just named it Ramona Cafe. And when Mo and Joe remodeled it, it became Mojo's. And that's the name of the cafe. Mojo's Cafe.
It's gonna be Mojo's from here on out.
And we're not going to change that. I mean, Joe was a great friend of mine, and we've been to Europe together, and Mo is a great man, so we'll never change that name. Okay, let's see what else comments we got
They're
here.
gone again.
They're gone again? I clicked it wrong? Okay, you do it. They're there.
Oh, we got them back. Yep, I think
It looks like that's all the comments.
pretty good.
Okay, that's pretty good. My wife is saying be done. From Southern Ohio, that is a little background on my amazing wife, and that hates to be on TV. And every once in a while, she will jump in a video when I surprise her. But we want to say
never voluntarily.
thank
really.
you guys. Thank you guys. Jacob, what do you like to quit? I'm not sure that question what that means. I don't know. I don't know what that question means.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. My wife is saying she's definitely done here. So I do want to say a couple of things before we stop though. For those of you that are supporting our channel, like that means the world to me. I'm blessed. I'm blessed in amazing ways watching the comments. And there was a lady, and hopefully she's watching us tonight, or if not, that she sees that she was. She said that she's getting ready to have a double lung transplant from a hospital, or I'm not sure the whole situation. And she just says that she loves watching our channel and that it brings her joy, and that just means the world to me that we can have an impact on someone out there. And so I just want to say we love you guys, and that means the world to me, and blessings. And if you could just ask your friends to watch, help us grow this channel, and if you get a chance to come out to the Heart, I try to be out there. Come see us. I'm out there most of the time on Saturdays and Sundays, and we try and just say hi to everybody, and we try and answer questions, and we're busy, but we want to be there for you as you guys are there for us. And blessings again, and thank you for Crazy Lamp Lady for encouraging us, and it was so awesome to get to know this whole YouTube community. I did not even know it existed. So thank you from Southern Ohio. Are we done?
I think so.
She said if we're not done, she's going to like throw me out of this little thing that we're in. I'm not sure what this thing's called. So Jocelyn, thank you, and everybody else that's been watching. Blessings back to you. All right, I always forget, how do we end?
I don't know.
You don't know either. Well, happy Thanksgiving. Oh, Pat, Thanksgiving Day. Watch our special before we get off here. Pat, we went to her house and filmed an entire 45-minute Thanksgiving Day special. She talks about her growing up and how she met like Elvis and different people and whatnot, how it all happened. So tune into that on Thanksgiving for sure. Is that it? End. Oh, there we go.